don't know how to start making a video. I mean, I do, but it's just like, I just know I'm supposed to start. And most people don't even start. They just go, I don't know how, so I'm not going to start. So I'm trying to make a video and talk about how profound an entire 2-day event is, where it just starts and it just does its own thing, where you start and you go into a place of creativity for 2 days, where time kind of leaves because you just spent 2 days not on Facebook, not around all the people around you that tell you why you can't do anything. And often we don't start something because we need to see all the results in that 1 second before we start. Like, oh, I want to write a book. And you immediately go, I don't know what it would be all about, so I'm not gonna write anything. But the journey was what was so fun, like starting to write and letting it unfold in front of you. So I'm making this video right now and I sincerely don't know how to start, but content seems to be coming through because I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I'm okay with that. And we live in a world where people need to know when they don't know. And what if you could instead just be okay with not knowing? What if life suddenly went to a place where you go, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how to show up. I just know I'm going to show up. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just know that my body feels like leaping towards this. It feels like writing this book or leaving this company or asking that person out. But I don't know what'll happen. I don't know how, but I'm okay with that. So what if you could live in a world where you didn't know how, but you're okay with that? I do these events where I speak for 10 hours a day, and I never know what I'm going to say. And if I thought that that's a bad thing, then my mind would go, well, we have to figure it all out. And I'd get in my head and I'd write all the time and I'd come up with 10 hours of content, and then they wouldn't hear me. They'd hear prepared content that wasn't me. But if I just don't know, then something else comes through. If I go, I don't know, and I'm okay with that, something new comes through, and I can start actually talking from my heart, not my head, because I've actually removed my head because I wasn't trying to get it anywhere. Because you'd only try to get your content good because then people will like you. You're only trying to get it good so that people will like you. But if I don't care how it goes and I don't understand, if I don't know how it's going to go and I'm okay with that, then I'm actually expressing myself and I'm not invested in what people will think of me, but I'm giving my gift and I get to go from in to out. And ironically, even though your goal isn't to get people to like you when you're doing that, people will connect with you so much more because you're actually talking from your heart and you're meeting them in their heart. So many people go to events and they're trying to come up with the right way to do everything, and a lot of times there's events that teach you tactics and they say, market this way and say this and say I only have 10 left and do all this stuff. And then you're doing what other people intellectually came up with and not what your heart's saying to do in the moment. Even Cosmo says stuff like 10 ways to turn them on in bed. And then, if there's a woman in bed with me and she's got a magazine and she's like, well, this says it'll turn you. There's no her there. She's just repeating what someone told her to do in a magazine. And there's no her there. And there's no you in when you do something from your memory and you try to get it good. You're just becoming a shell of the person you want to impress. And you're totally overlooking the you that's trying to come through and just express itself the way that I am doing right now, because all this stuff has come through because I just started. And I didn't know what I was going to say, but I was okay with that. So many people go to events and they need to know what's going to happen. How is it going to go? I need to know every single thing. And your mind is going, I need to know everything because the limited me, the me who I was before I got here, knows how everything needs to work for me to be happy. But instead, what if you just said, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm going to release the burden of needing to know. I'm going to go because it feels exciting. I'm going to go because I know that there's something new for me, and I'm tired of every day doing stuff that's just vices stopping me from connecting to myself. What if you started writing the book and said, I don't know how it's going to go? What if you just started doing the podcast, or you left the business and you said, I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, but I'm trusting. I'm actually trusting something. I'm actually trusting and actually having faith. It doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be control. It doesn't have to be fear. Just faith that you're going to be okay. Because the fear when we leave something is that we're going to die. Where the fear is that we're not going to make it. The fear is that we're going to fail and become totally broke. But what if actually your soul can finally come through and you could accidentally become richer than ever because you're connecting to your soul? And people want that. The number one thing customers want the number one thing people on dates want is to connect to someone who's connected to their soul, because that gives them connection to their own soul. And the highest currency we have for real is not money. It's your awareness and your connection to your soul. And the proof of that is there's millionaires all the time that go to Buddhist monks and they learn how to connect to their soul. The reverse never happens. There's no guys living under trees connecting to their soul going, I gotta get a Lamborghini now and have a poolside place and a bunch of models. Like, they're connected to their place, and that's the highest place that we have. And we've trained our mind to think life is just about money. But when you connect to your soul, weirdly, everyone wants to give you money. But you don't do it because they want to give you money. You do it because your connection to you is the most important thing. So as I start doing this, I'm realigning with my soul as I'm hearing this stuff just come through. And every human being has this. You don't have to be a channel. You don't have to be saying you're getting this from an alien or a collection of entities somewhere else. You don't have to be getting it from somewhere. This is who we all are. And people go, how do I access that? You do it all day. You do it when you go to a restaurant, you go to your friend's house, you don't have a set list, you don't try to get it right. Well, this event that I'm going to be doing is designed to help me come out of my shell and into my soul and help the audience do the same thing. And yeah, we all have these things and we go, how will I get out of my addictions? And how will I get out of my stage fright? And how will I get out of my thing? And how will I get this person to like me? All those things end up taking care of themselves when you start to like you, when you start to connect to you, when you start to realize the highest asset you have isn't what your mom thinks of you or what your dad thinks of you or what the public thinks of you or what your customers think of you. It's truly actually what you think of you. And when you actually hear your body say, I want to do this, and for the first time you actually listen to it and stop repressing it, stop ignoring it, stop coping all day and watching movie after movie and going on Facebook, getting someone else to like you to justify why you're not connecting to your soul, your body, your truth. You have a truth going, I want to do this. You have a truth saying, I don't want to work here anymore. You have a truth saying, we're here to create that book right now. And if you keep ignoring it, you're going to have to get into your head and you're going to have to cope all day with different vices and therapy and all kinds of things that are actually really expensive to maintain. But when you listen to your truth and you listen to your soul, those things can start to finally fall away. All the addictions fall off. All those things fall off when you listen to your heart. And that's actually a thing. It's not just a Facebook meme that people post around and say, listen to your heart, and then they don't. You actually have guidance telling you, I want to do that. And when you ignore that, you're actually in an argument with yourself all day. Your heart goes, I want to ask that person out. I want to leap. I want to write the thing. I want to do this. And you say, no, there's two yous, and it's a chaos inside your body. And we live in a world where that's totally normal. It doesn't mean it's right. It's just normal and it's common. So you feel permission to listen to the argument with yourself all day. In fact, you start to feel uncomfortable becoming great. And if you start to actually move into being great, you won't be uncomfortable anymore. This event is not about learning to do things the way I did it. It's not about learning to do things the way your family did it or anybody else did it. This is about learning what you are desiring to do for you. I don't have this desire for you to learn tactics from me and become followers. I want co-creators on the planet that want to help make the world better, that want to move from universal alignments, that want to stop being sick all day because they're ignoring their calling, and help me to co-create in a place that just makes things better everywhere because they're in their truth. And the truth will come to the top eventually. And every time that you ignore it, what's amazing, if you've ever been in a relationship and you feel it's time to leave this and you ignore it, the universe will kick your butt until you finally listen to it, or whoever else it is. It doesn't have to be the universe or God or your soul, or you can be atheist and hear this, I don't care. You'll get your butt kicked until you listen to what it has to say. That voice needs to come out. You've spent your whole life ignoring it. We've all done it. And until you do, you'll finally understand why this life is actually really, really, really exciting. It's really amazing. When you start to co-create with yourself, life becomes this journey and scavenger hunt of what's the next thing I'm supposed to do. And you start to see opportunities in places you couldn't see it because you were so in your head looking for this way to get one thing, versus life was trying to give you all kinds of stuff, but you were not present in the moment and being receptive to taking it and co-creating with it. This event is about that. This event is about getting out of competition and moving into collaboration, because in collaboration, you'll suddenly be in a room with 1,400 open-minded people, and you're going to want to share each other's contacts and work in different ways, because every person in there has something that you can work with, that you can offer your service to, and they can offer their service to you. You'll be in this endless form of possibility because the room will be full of something that's so much bigger than money. Open-hearted people, people that see things in possibilities. I'd rather have a bunch of people making minimum minimum wage that have hearts that are wide open and see things and possibilities than having a bunch of millionaires that think who they are is their money, not able to see beyond that. What we are is co-creative beings, and you have to learn how to open your heart and go to a place of, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm okay with that. Because when you co-create with someone, go, I don't know why I'm with you right now, and I'm okay with that. You start, and possibilities show up. Another possibility shows up. And everything that just came out of my mouth right now came because I didn't know what I was supposed to say. I just started, and content always is there when you get out of the way of yourself. And this event is about getting out of the way of yourself, letting all of the things that are fears, doubts, everything dissolve, because that's the byproduct of what happens when you learn to listen to your soul. And the people around you will start to be inspired by you. And you'll notice that you doing it not only helped you get in your gift, but your mom is starting to be inspired by it, or your friends, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend. They want to know how you did that, and they do it too. This is the only actual way you can shift yourself, or you can shift the world, is by connecting to your soul. You can't do it by fighting what is all day and being mad at yourself all day and going out and going to war with it. The more you go to war with it, the more it just gets louder and louder and louder. But if you move to your soul, you start to show all those people in control that there's a place of inner peace that's available that they didn't know existed. And that's what we're here to do. And that's what this event is. It's my truth coming through. This is my heart going into an idea, and people are going to spend 2 days living inside that idea. It's a very heart-based idea, and it's an honor to have them. And it's going to be fun. Michael Beckwith is going to be there. Ricky Beckwith's going to be there. Dr. Sue Morter's going to be there. And it is going to be a co-creation of possibilities when you discover what 2 days can do for your entire life. It's going to be an insane experience. And I'm really, really excited about it.